Welcome back, Jack, to the Alt Kings podcast. How you been, man?
Really good, man. It's always good to be back. Appreciate you for having me on.
Very happy to have you, and I'm so excited to talk about your latest venture, Candy. But, ladies and gentlemen, if you didn't already know, Jack is the CMO at Kabila, and he's also one of the core team members at the Infernals, an NFT project on Hedera. Let's dive into things, Jack. I'd love to start out with how did you get the idea to create Candy, especially on Hedera? And really, what inspired you to create this project as an HTS Hedera token service model, at least?
Yeah, so a very unexpected venture. I don't think I was ever planning to launch a token or name it Candy. It really goes back to the Christmas stockings that were launched last Christmas on Christmas Day. It was just a really fun event that I decided to put together for the community. I've done similar things in the past for other businesses that I've had. Christmas calendars, this interactive and fun stuff for either customers or community members. So that was the why behind the Christmas stockings. That honestly blew up into something that I could never imagine with the
Yeah.
support of the community. Everyone just had a lot of fun, and really it was a free mint. It was every stocking had a gift, so it was like obviously people love gifts, and it was Christmas, so it was all in the spirit of Christmas and gifting, and also celebrating my first year on Hedera. Christmas Day marked 400, no, not 415, 415 days. Yeah, so it was just over a year, and that was the supply of the collection as well. So it was also very symbolic. So yeah, that was the starting point, and coming into 2024, obviously through the stockings, I managed to put together a Discord, and there's 300 and something people in there, a lot of them very very solid community members as well. I'd set up the Discord initially to do the claim of the gifts to token gate it, but then I had this amazing community there. I thought, oh, I wonder if something else will arise. I just a lot of the time in life go with the flow and respond to circumstances, and I had a feeling that something else was going to be born. And then we had that the HTS kind of picked up suddenly. There was all these token launches, and everyone was excited. People shifted from NFTs to tokens within a week, and I feel like it's
Yeah.
been running since then. I don't know if that was February, around that time, if I'm not mistaken, but it just caught my attention, and I started playing and dabbling myself, not with massive amounts, but just as I do with NFTs, buy a few tokens, connect with the people, the founders, and learn, because I want to absorb all everything I can. Not only fascinates me, but it's my job, so I need to understand these things. So one
Yeah.
thing led to the next, talking to founders, and I have to give a shout out to Space Ape actually, because he actually came up with the name Candy. I was toying with different ideas, and we were in DMs just like I was with a few other people, and the word Candy came out of his mouth, and that's when the name was born. The concept itself and what it was going to become, I didn't really know at the time. I just thought it could be fun when I learned about the custom fees that you can have on a token. Wouldn't it be fun if we could launch a token that could help fund the yearly Christmas stockings, which at the same time was a token that was year round? So the candy cane is a Christmassy thing, but candy,
Yeah.
people love candy all year round. So that's how it started, and to tie it into the year, the yearly stocking thing. And one thing really just led to that. It was very unexpected, very organic, and from a place of curiosity, learning, and wanting to continue that fun that we'd had back in December 2023.
That's a great story. And it all comes back around full circle, I got to say, especially congratulations with your recent Candy I Know pre sale sellout. I think that's a great way to speed run and expedite the process of getting this token off the ground. And it's nice to know as a founder that you took the appropriate steps to one, get your feet in the grass and get hands on with things before even creating the token itself and learning the process that goes into creating an HTS token and actually absorbing everything, all the components of an HTS token that there are, and figuring out what exact components that you want to implement into your token. The Candy name is a household favorite. I got to say that as well. I'm a big fan of Candy, and so it just resonates with me well, even more at the end of the day. But one of my biggest questions about any token being created is the supply. And I'm curious to know, what was your thought process when creating the supply of candy?
Yeah. I think because it was when I started planning these things around the token, I was coming from the stockings, and the stockings was just something fun and light and organic and again for the community. So it was very much just winging it. So I was coming from that place. So I don't think there was necessarily, I was trying to figure out a supply and I was like, does it really matter? Because then you have the decimals and does it really matter? Or can it just be, I think a lot of meme coins have just random supplies anyway. I think it's more the strategy that goes behind the distribution, the release, the utility, the incentive to hold. So I think that's a lot more important than the supply itself. That's what I came to learn. But the 12
Sure.
million comes from the 12 months of the year, of course, leading up to the next Christmas.
I
So yeah,
didn't think of it that way.
a lot of the numbers that I play with are symbolic for some reason. Because if I can't make my mind up, then I'll just find the number that makes sense to the story, attach it to the
Yeah.
story. So yeah, that's how I came up with 12, and that's the supply that it has. It has that max finite supply of 12 million.
So it's pretty much like a million candy per month that you plan on releasing in that order all the way up until Christmas, until you obviously hit the 12 million mark, and then there's no more candy ever to be released. I know with the candy NFTs from the I know you released, they get the drip of about 1,000 candy per week
Mhm.
for 26 weeks. Is that correct?
Yeah, so just
Nice.
going back to what you said about the supply being released. Initially, I was thinking of doing it that way, but then the
Sure.
release of the token kind of got delayed because I didn't want to launch anything until I felt comfortable with like that I knew enough, like I'd soaked up enough know-how and felt comfortable within myself to actually launch the token itself. So it got delayed until this month. It's been
Yeah.
released. So it won't be a million per month, but it will be released, like you just said, through the INO NFTs with the drip. There'll be the public candy machine drip, and there'll be other strategic partnerships and collaborations and fun stuff through which we'll distribute the token as well. Going back to your second part, which was the drip. So with the candy machine, shout out to Mattia, MK,
Yeah.
3D artist, absolute legend, such a pleasure to work with, and just yeah, just a beautiful design, right? Like his attention to detail and what he produces is for me just amazing. So super happy with how it turned out. Obviously, those who minted got one of 100 candy machines, an initial airdrop of 4,000 candy straight after the LP went live, and the 26,000 remaining, like you said, are vested throughout 26 weeks with a weekly drip, which initially will be a manual airdrop by myself. But as soon as the candy machine DApp goes live, people will be able to hook up to the machine and claim their weekly drip by holding that NFT in their wallet.
Nice. That's pretty cool. What will the day app look like outside of just the drip and collecting candy? What else will we be able to maybe see in this D app?
I think the sky is the limit when it comes to what the DApp could end up being or evolve into over time. Initially, it's
Yeah.
going to be exactly that. It's going to be a very simple. The main goal of Candy is to onboard the world to Hedera one candy at a time. That's the slogan. So there will be a public drip where anyone from outside of Hedera can come, download a wallet. There'll be a very easy, seamless flow for someone to download a wallet and claim a candy. And that will be their first experience on Hedera, making it a sweet one. So that's the main purpose of the DApp. But obviously, it's going to be a landing page. So there'll probably be an information tab on the different collections that are associated to the candy machine, where they can find them, the purpose of the candy mission, and other partnerships, collaborations, or who knows? Because 6 months ago, I wouldn't have imagined being in this position, actually building a candy machine. Still feels quite surreal that I'm doing something like that, but it's happening. And who knows where we'll be in 6 months to a year. I really think that the app, shout out to Justin, by the way, who's building it behind the scenes, Justin Spooner from Dovu, another legend in the space. So grateful to have such legends contributing to this project, I must say,
Honestly.
and all of the community members that have got behind the launch and continue to support. So yeah, grateful to be on this creative mission.
Especially in my eyes, shout out to Mattia. I love that guy the most. Just because I personally work with him as well on different various projects and stuff like that. But his art and his craft is so out of this world. I've never seen anything like it when it comes to 3D art, especially on Hedera. But that's what really makes him stand out. And he's just a great tool to have in your back pocket.
Oh yeah.
It's like the hammer that you've always needed. creates it all.
and so humble at the same time. Just
Yeah,
such a
truly.
delight to work with someone like that.
I know, and he's always open and honest and genuine, and he'll tell you how he feels, and it's great to also have a guy like Justin. I've never met him. I would love to someday, but developers are key contributors to the network as well in all shapes and forms, and if he works with Dovu, he already knows what he's getting his hands on, but Candy is just a small project in the bigger aspect of things. But no, it's really cool to see your approach to things. And I like how you're going to utilize Candy to onboard new users, as it's the sweetest thing anybody could ask for at the end of the day. But I'm curious what your onboarding process will be like whenever you are planning to onboard new users. Do you have an approach in mind that you plan on attacking people, not attacking, but heading full head on with new users who are interested in Hedera?
Yeah, I'm basically just bribing people with candy to come join the Hedera network. That's what it comes
And
down
just
to.
learn the process of Hedera and accept transactions, and you can show them how fast these
Yeah.
transactions flow through, how cheap they are and stuff.
Yeah, so there will be. This is something Justin pointed out, and I love the idea is that we'll have some kind of data on the when you claim that first candy, it will say this transaction just went through, and this time it cost you this, and to not only they've claimed a candy, they've got their candy right, but they've got a little bit of information or insight
Nice.
onto about Hedera and what just happened as they claimed the candy. But yeah, I think that what it comes down to is the easiest and most seamless downloading wallet and claim possible, and some of those insights I think will be fundamental. I think it will be an evolution as well. Like once the candy that goes live, based on feedback and users, maybe it probably will be tweaked and refined until it's just. I can see it being one of the main portals to Hedera. Why not? Like why not aim for that? I can see someone was toying with the idea with me the other day about a physical candy machine at consensus. Why not? One that you can either even take a candy from the machine and the candy has a QR code or something on it, or a QR code on the machine that you can scan. So I think a lot of physical stuff as well. Shout out to James from the HBAR car. He's going to be giving out candy. I want to.
That's cool.
This is the mission of candy, right? Seeing different ways we can onboard people to Hedera through the candy token or even something physical and fun. I love James, man, and what he's doing with the car. Like,
Yeah.
I somebody
Out of
like
this
you guys
world.
that's going into something like that. It's really crazy.
Yeah, definitely. I got a question now about the candy, specifically the product that you're selling to all these people. Maybe not selling it, maybe just giving it away. But does this candy have red 40?
Does it have?
Red 40, food coloring.
I'd like it to be supernatural, that candy.
I agree. Thank you for saying that.
Yeah, I'm very careful with what I eat, and my past life as a chef, so I explored food in depth, and I think it's if we want to play the long game in Web3, make sure you take care of this, and food is a big
Yeah.
part.
Very true about that. And I had to ask because pretty much any Western civilized candy today, speaking at least, has if it's looks like it's red, it probably has red 40. And it's just a shame because that's one of the worst ingredients to inject into any food because it's not natural by any means. But I'm glad you're going the natural route, 100% organic. This is from the
Just
ground up, from the roots up.
just to say, I have no plans for an actual candy just yet. It's a dream. Like it could be like what James is gonna have. Maybe it will be an edible candy, or maybe it will be more like an object, like a
Yeah.
physical piece of
Sticker.
something. Who knows? Like it could be. Maybe we do end up distributing real candy, man. It could get
Yeah, that'd
crazy.
be insane. The
Mhm.
opportunities are endless, though, and I mean, if the tokens gets popular enough, you could have the capital set aside for something that could be a long-term vision like that.
Yeah.
For the meantime, we'll just stick to these Christmas stocking events and pack people's wallets with HTS tokens and NFTs. What are your plans for the 2024 Christmas stocking event that you got going on this year? Anything different compared to last, or
I'm
what
sure it will
could we
be.
expect as a community member?
I reckon it will be similar but different. I haven't even started thinking about it honestly. I've been so busy with the candy launch, and we've got the candy machine coming very soon, and then there'll be other stuff happening throughout the year. Like I don't want it. It's not just going to be token launch and then just wait till Christmas. There's going to be a lot of fun stuff happening around the token,
Yeah.
but I can imagine it being bigger than last year and better because there'll be more funds. I look to get a little support team as well, because I did it as a one-man show last year and it was very intense, distributing 415 gifts.
Yeah,
So I will be getting some help. And I think, yeah, everything will be taken to the next level. The art, the gifts, the size, the marketing. Yeah, why wouldn't it be? That will be the goal.
definitely. And you have more of a build up to prepare and get yourself ready for things. I'm assuming this DApp that you're releasing for Candy is going to be released on the Kabila wallet first off and to start, right?
It'll be the app will be a separate website. I've actually got the
Oh, okay.
domain already, so it'll be its own thing. So just like you go to SourceSwap or you go to Centex or Kabila, you connect up your wallet and you have a play with the machine. Basically,
Oh, nice.
I will be using Kabila wallet as the onboarding route, if that was your question, like that. Yeah.
Yeah, makes sense. I was referencing how a Hashpack has their whole DApp section where you see all those
Ah,
different various apps and whatnot. I didn't know if you were
yeah.
gonna try to, or if Kabila was gonna have something similar to that on their wallet, and then you have all these different DApps in a specific section for the various different types of things that they offer as services or whatnot.
Yeah.
But no, that's a cool idea, especially having it on your own and then just connecting Kabila to it.
Yeah, it will be a standalone thing. Kabila Wallet does have a DApp section. It still has to be developed. I don't think there's much on there yet, apart from Centex and
Sure.
the Kabila official ones. But yeah, it'd be great to have the Candy DApp in there on Hashpack. Like any wallet that wants to integrate it into their DApp store, much appreciated.
Definitely. Now, I want to go back in time to the beginning of when you created Candy and for coming back around full circle and just seeing how the whole process has gone so far. Is there anything that you would have changed from the creation of up until now and maybe moving forward that you might think of, I did it one way, but maybe I should have done it a different way? Is there anything like that? Or has everything gone to plan and gone smooth rolling so far?
I think when you don't have expectations, because it's something so experimental that it can
Yeah.
only go well. And I have put everything in my power into it to guarantee a smooth launch and the mint, and a lot of thought has gone into it. I'm not sure if there's anything I would change, because I think it's, like I say, it's an experiment, it's exploratory. So I've weighed up different options for different things and then just really sat on them for a while, not rushed anything. So I think everything's been very intentional. And I also believe that everything happens for a reason. So even if something went a little bit maybe not as planned, or maybe it will happen that way, it will also be for a reason to adjust or pivot. Or so I can't think of anything right now. I'm
Sure.
pretty happy with how it's gone, and I couldn't be more grateful for the support. So many token founders have also helped during this process. I've asked so many questions. I've been bugging a lot of people, and everyone's been super receptive and super genuinely wanting to help, and they have. I think that's why it's been so successful as well. All of the know-how and the insights from people that have already launched on Hedera. So I think if you're, whether it's NFTs or fungible tokens, if you are looking to launch something, just please ask the questions. Even if you think it's a silly one, ask around. There's so many people willing to help. We have such an amazing community.
Yeah, definitely. Couldn't agree more with that. I think the community stands out beneath the crowd when it comes to networks and how communities build and create together on different networks and stuff. I think we're very open and honest and willing to help people who seem committed to their vision and aren't just here to take from the network. They want to give back as well. And it's a two-way street at the end of the day. You can't just do one thing and expect another. You have to do both. And provide both in the best ways you possibly can. And just be honest with everybody at the end of the day. And I know you do a great job at that. One of my last questions for you, Jack, is simply speaking, what is some things that you'd like to highlight today that maybe we haven't touched up on yet? Maybe they excite you so much that you just need to get them out and spill all the candy. But is there anything out there like that that maybe we haven't touched up on it yet and you'd like to spread some words upon it?
Yeah, I think there is a couple of things actually related to the
Perfect.
supply again and token private keys, is because this is something that I've come across myself doing the research that I've done, coming from a more of an NFT background where batch minting, releasing the supply as demand grows is a common thing, and it's also encouraged. A lot of people within the community, when they see a big supply drop, and they're like, oh, that's too much, you should batch mint it. There's nearly this opposite thought on the NFT side when it comes to tokens. It's, oh, you got a supply key? can't have a supply key. And it's the same. It's
Yeah.
the same meta. It's the same narrative of you have a supply key so you can mint supply or batch mint and release supply strategically or when demand grows. We see dead pixels, the CWAS. A lot of NFT collections do this, and I think it's a very healthy way, especially if you're starting off as a new founder or a new project. It's good to start small and grow from there. There's pros and cons to both. Like obviously not having the full supply in the market has its cons as well, like its downside. Like every time you release supply, a bit like Hedera does, there's a fluctuation in the market. So there's many things to consider, and there's two different strategies, and I think they both have their goods and bads. So Candy has a supply key. I'm proud to say. I just want to. I made a tweet yesterday saying that I want to. I'm not saying I'm gonna single-handedly change a narrative, but I do want to contribute to that because I think it's a bit of an obsession that people have around supply keys when it comes to tokens, and I get it because tokens are easy to launch and easy to rug. A lot easier than doing a good NFT collection, right? A lot more time and effort and money goes into launching an NFT collection. But on Hedera, it's so easy and so cheap to launch a token. You can do it within a couple of minutes, and you can rug it within a couple of minutes as well. So
Yeah.
I get it. I get the whole supply key fear because a lot of people have PTSD from tokens rugging. But I think at the end of the day, you invest in people, or at least I do. If I'm buying an NFT or I buy a token, it's because I believe in the founder, what they can bring to the table, whether they can execute their track record. Do I trust them? I know there's a lot of trustless. There's a lot of Web3 is about it being a trustless place, but I think there's always going to be a certain point of failure, and
Yeah.
it always comes back to the person at the end of the day or the team behind the project. Yeah, I just wanted to touch on that because I think on the one hand I get it, but on the other hand we need to not get too obsessed with that, especially if it's someone within the space that we know and we trust, or at least
Yeah.
think we can trust, right? I think we're
I've got one question regarding that now, Jack. So you have a supply key, but the max amount of tokens you can ever create is locked at 12
yeah,
million, correct?
yes, that's
So
correct.
there should not be a real worry about things, especially if you were to go about and release all the tokens at once. That's like the price or the token's price would not be nearly of where it's at now
Of
if you
course.
released everything at once. You know what? I think it's hovering before I checked before we started the show. I checked, and I think it was hovering around like 6 cents right now. And it's no that it might in my eyes it probably could have been like 0.006 cents if all 12 million tokens were out on the market right now.
Mhm.
I think it's nice to have some sort of flow to it and still keep the supply finite because say once you get down the road and want to release another million to the supply, yes, it might deteriorate the price for the short term, but that only allows more opportunity for the one key component that you plan on doing with this project, onboarding more users to Hedera to have an opportunity to buy this token at a lower price than what it was then. And it's just a discounted rate, and the supply and price, I guarantee, or not the supply, but the price will go back up as more users continue to get onboarded through Candy on Hedera. That's how my head and
Mhm.
my mind wrap around it. And I think it's once you get to that 12 million mark, no more tokens can be created, and then people have zero reason to cry or complain about something that they don't like whenever they buy HTS tokens or anything like that. I don't know if there's been any sort of complaining or whatnot. We do see here and there people love to just nitpick and pick out things that they don't think is right, and it's just be the most critic of critics.
Mhm.
And it's at some points it's needed, other points maybe not, but it's just about having respect and a simple balance between the lines. And I think you're doing a great job. And that was just the feedback and input I wanted to throw in there
Yeah.
about what I think when it comes to releasing supply and either keeping it finite or infinite. And say, what if the token was infinite? Then people would have like nothing to complain about because you could literally create millions and millions of this token and just release it everywhere, the price would not be there. The
Mhm.
price wouldn't be nowhere near where it is today. So you have a really nice approach to things. You're very strategic, and Those are my
Yeah,
words about that.
I think if just to add to that as well, like my focus will always be the mission, which is onboarding, which I
Yeah,
think will impact the price. But my focus is never going to be the price. I think I feel that whether it's an NFT or a fungible token, that's the byproduct of good execution and
exactly.
strategic release of supply. So if I release 1 million, but it's through a strategic partnership that onboards, I don't know how many people to Hedera or to Candy, then that should be my goal. That's why I would prefer to batch mint and have the opportunity to use Candy in different ways to onboard rather than just releasing it all at once and then it's the job
Yeah.
done. That would have been easier instead of having to come up with different collaborations, partnerships, and strategies to actually onboard more people through the token, right? So
Yeah,
yeah.
definitely.
How-
And I know you got your head on your shoulders and you're forward focusing. And so sitting there drinking your candy coffee like it's nothing. It's probably Kona coffee in there, though.
No, it's actually a green tea today.
Oh,
I
nice.
do
Not
love
bad.
Kona. Shout out to Kona.
Shout out Kona. Definitely. Any closing thoughts, Jack? It's been a pleasure being able to speak with you all about candy.
I think just again gratitude. I'd love to give a special shout out to HBAR Joe from the Earthings team. He's been mega helpful. We've even had video calls, like tokenomics, LP, all of the fun stuff that surrounds a token. Joe High Times as well. I think it's really important to get different perspectives from different people. Joe's a trader. Sorry, we got two Joes here. HBAR Joe, he's a founder. He takes care of more of the tokenomics for Earthings, I believe, for the most part. And you've got Joe High Times, who's very embedded in the community, a trader. He knows memes and it's like that he has a lot of knowledge that maybe HBAR Joe doesn't have or I don't have.
Yeah.
So I really try and learn from different people that have different perspectives. Space Ape has been a massive help as well. Shout out to Space Ape. And I'm probably forgetting people. Lord, what's his name? Crypto.
Lord Mang.
Yeah, I forget that handle all the time. But he's been super helpful with the exchange of audio and DMs because these people have had experience launching tokens, so it just made sense to reach out. So super grateful to all token founders that have supported the process. Everyone who has been supporting since Christmas stockings that still hold their stockings, they've benefited with candy, have been rewarded for sticking around. Everyone who's in the Discord, who engages with tweets, every like, every retweet helps the mission. Everyone who holds, even if it's one candy in your wallet, helps the mission. So yeah, if it wasn't for you guys, we wouldn't be doing this. I wouldn't be sitting here with a candy mug. It's all because of you guys. So thank you. Shout out to,
Shout out to the community.
I'm going to shout out to the guy. I'm forgetting names. It's terrible. I'm going to have to tell you later so you can tag them maybe. But the guy who created this mug for me, absolute legend as well from the Spanish community side of Kabila. I'm actually going to quickly search for it. No, I don't have the time. It's fine. I hate that. You want to give a shout out to everyone and then
Yeah.
you forget names. The list is ever long. So thank you, everyone.
Endless. But yes, thank you to everybody who supports Jack and just supports Hedera in general in my eyes. Jack, it's been a pleasure to speak to you about everything candy, and I look forward to everything to come with this sweet treat.
Thank
Ladies
you.
and gentlemen, if you enjoyed today's show, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And we'll see you all in the next episode.
Thanks
Peace.
for having me, Tate.
Of course, Jack.
Ready to transform your learning experience? Step into the future with the Learn to Earn platform on Hedera. Choose how you learn, academic books in hard copy or NFT form. That's right, NFTs. Whether you prefer the traditional feel or a digital interactive journey, the choice is yours. Dive into the NFT, not just for the book, but for all the tools you need for success. Download the book, access tests, all within a seamless, immersive interface. Forget traditional logins. Simply scan the QR code, connect to our platform, and start your Learn to Earn journey. Pass your tests and watch your success turn into real rewards with Gcoin, our exclusive digital currency. Imagine learning at your own pace, acing exams, and reaping tangible benefits. It's not just education, it's a transformative journey towards success. Join the future of learning at gilmore-estates.net. Scan, learn, earn. It's that simple, and it's revolutionary.